Imagine uncovering ancient secrets, ones that promise, well, long life, radiant health, deep comfort, and real strength. Today, we're taking a deep dive into some sacred texts that seem to lay out exactly how you can achieve these benefits.
Yeah, and we're talking about much more than just dusty old documents here. This is about the living wisdom inside Buddhist blessings, specifically the 60 Daidanka, that's the 60 Anumodanagatha.
Right, and our sources today are direct excerpts from that text. We're focusing on two main chants, the Gathā and the Saibi. You often hear these recited by monks. We'll dig into the original Magadha or Pali language and also their translation into Siamese.
Exactly. And our mission really is to unpack these powerful blessings. We want to help you grasp their deeper meanings and maybe find some surprising insights for living a, truly flourishing life.
Yeah, hopefully you'll have some aha moments today. Yeah. Things that might just shift your perspective on gratitude, respect, and maybe your own well-being.
Definitely. So let's get started.
Okay, so let's journey into the heart of these ancient blessings. We'll start with a Gathā chant. It's one you might have heard, but maybe not fully understood its layers.
This is the blessing monks recite after receiving alms offerings. It's their way of expressing gratitude to the donors. And it's key to remember, like you said, this isn't Siamese originally. It's Magadha.
What I find fascinating is how it kicks off with this incredibly vivid image, water.
Yes. The very first phrase, Yatha varivaha pura peripurenti sagaram, which translates roughly as the brimful lake can adequately fill an ocean with its supply.
It's such a powerful natural picture, isn't it? You can almost see it, water flowing from full lakes, reservoirs, creating this whole system, little streams, bigger canals.
Feeding into the 5 main rivers and then inevitably flowing into the ocean. Just keeps going, no deviation.
Right. And the text even includes the whole cycle, like evaporated water becoming rain and flowing back.
Exactly. It's a beautiful metaphor for, well, inevitable consequences. Cause and effect, really. Just like that water has to reach the ocean, certain actions naturally lead to certain results. It's a fundamental principle.
Okay, so if water filling the ocean is inevitable, how does that connect back to giving alms? What's the inevitable result there?
The text makes that link crystal clear in the next line. Eva meva intodinam petanam upakapataiti, meaning the alms you have offered in the world can certainly be an advantage for one who has passed away from this world.
So a direct benefit for the deceased from the act of giving. It's not just symbolic.
Not at all. It's presented as a direct consequence, flowing just like that water.
And then the chant wraps up with these lovely wishes for the person who made the offering, for the donor.
Ichtam batitam tumham kipameva samijatu, which is like, may your mental expectations and intentions be successfully fulfilled, quickly even.
And also, sabipurentu sankapa, may your various thoughts and ideas be successfully completed.
And look at the comparisons they use. It's beautiful, just like the full moon on the 15th night. Bright, full, complete.
Or similar to a brightly shining precious stone. That paints such a picture of brilliant fulfillment, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It connects the act of giving to this state of complete, luminous success for the giver's own hopes.
So that's the Gathā chant.
Right.
But the monks don't stop there, right?
No, they don't. After Gathā concludes, they continue with another blessing. It's called the Anumodanagatha, but most people just call it the Sabi chant. And this one, they repeat 3 times.
Okay, the Sabi chant. What's the focus here?
This one is more about daily protection and well-being. It's pretty comprehensive. It asks for wickedness to disappear, sabitio vivajantu, for diseases to be cured, sabarogwefenasatu.
Protection from accidents, matte pavet fantarayo.
Exactly. And finally, sukidikahukobhava, may you all have comfort and longevity. It's like a shield of positive wishes.
Comfort and longevity. That sounds pretty good. And you said there's something added after the 3rd repetition?
Yes, and this is really crucial. After they say the Sabi chant for the 3rd time, they add the statement that outlines 4 major benefits. The phrase is Abhivadana slisa, nikam vudapakaino kataro, damavadanti, duvano sukambalam. Quite a mouthful.
Okay, let's break that down. Kataro dhamma vadanti. 4 benefits arise.
Precisely. It translates to the 4 benefits of longevity, good appearance, comfort, and strength will be received by one who habitually pays obeisance and respect to the elders.
So there's a condition. It's tied to respecting elders.
Yeah.
And these 4 benefits, longevity, good appearance, comfort, strength, they aren't just nice ideas.
No, the source really emphasizes they are important. Qualities that matter within the world and also within the Dhamma. They're tangible results.
Okay, let's dive into these 4 then. What do they really mean in this context? First, Ayu longevity.
Ayu. That's pretty straightforward. The living of a long life to the full extent of one's lifespan, not dying in early or middle age. I mean, as the source says, everyone would love to achieve longevity, right?
Can't argue with that. Okay, next is vana, good appearance. This sounds maybe a bit superficial.
You might think so, but it's defined in a really interesting way. It's not about, fashion or makeup. It's described as the kind of pure beauty that is without any decoration, that lasts for a very long time.
Oh.
And that is consistent with the development of the physical body from childhood through into old age. The text says it's the result of accumulated merit.
Wow. So it's like an inner quality shining through, a beauty that comes from how you live, lasting your whole life.
Exactly. It suggests your actions, your inner state, actually shape your appearance over time. It's a pretty radical way to think about beauty, isn't it? Less about surface, more about substance.
Definitely shifts the perspective.
Oh.
Okay, third is sukha, comfort or happiness.
Yeah, sukha. This means being physically and mentally comfortable in each of the 4 major movements: sitting, lying, standing, and walking. So ease in the body.
But there's more to it.
Oh, yes. The text adds this intriguing detail. To sit, lie, fall asleep and awake comfortably, and even to dream only sweet, delighting dreams, is in the nature of possessing happiness.
Even your dreams.
Yeah.
So it's a really deep sense of well-being, affecting everything, even your subconscious.
Totally. It's not just avoiding pain, it's cultivating this pervasive inner peace.
That's profound. Okay, the last one. Pala, strength or power. This sounds physical.
It includes physical strength, yes. The text mentions the power to travel by land, sea, or air, and to proceed with any task physically, also to command any work verbally, and to cope with any problem thoughtfully. So capacity in action, speech, and thought.
But is there more to pala?
There is, and this is key. Pala also means confidence that is always strong and never weak. Mental fortitude.
Ah, confidence. That makes sense.
It's huge. The source gives this really vivid analogy. Imagine someone strong physically but lacking confidence. They get hit by a falling coconut shell and they panic, thinking it's a cobra bite, maybe even faint. But someone with pala, with confidence, realizes, oh, it's just a coconut shell, and they recover quickly.
That's a great illustration. So confidence helps you assess situations accurately, not overreact.
Exactly. It shapes your reality, your resilience.
Yeah.
The text even mentions things like fires or accidents. With confidence, less damage and problems can be more quickly solved. Without it, panic sets in, and everything goes from bad to worse as confidence disappears.
So cultivating that inner strength, that confidence, is crucial for handling, well, anything life throws at you.
Pretty much. True power is internal.
Okay, so we have these 4 amazing benefits. Ayu, longevity, vana, lasting beauty, sukha, deep comfort, and pala, strength and confidence. But how do we actually get them? You mentioned the condition earlier, respect for elders.
That's the absolute foundation, yes. The source points directly to the practice of respect, veneration, obeisance, those Pali terms again, Abhivadana Slisa and Buddhapakaino. That's the how.
Abhivadana Slisa and Buddhapakaino. So respect is the key that unlocks these benefits. What does that look like in practice, according to the text?
Well, it depends on who you are within the Buddhist context. For monks, it means strictly following their rules, staying focused on meditation and wisdom.
Okay.
For novices, it's about respecting their 10 precepts, doing their duties.
And for lay followers, people like us, maybe, upasakas and upasikas?
For lay people, it means really holding on to the Trisaranagama, taking refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, observing the 5 precepts usually.
Right, the basic ethical guidelines.
And maybe the 8 precepts on special holy days, Dhammasavana days. It's about building that ethical foundation consciously. It clears the mind, reduces inner conflict, which directly feeds into that sukha, that comfort we talked about.
So it's an active cultivation. It also applies to specific duties, right, like giving alms.
Absolutely. When giving alms, practice Keganasati. Really focus your mind on the offering. Be generous, but also practical, ensuring it doesn't cause hardship for you.
Mindfulness in giving.
And in observing precepts, silanusati, recollect them. Hold them honestly. No cheating, no vanity. Hold them firmly. Keep the mind steady.
And meditation, too.
Yes. Perform meditation respectfully, consistently. Let things arise naturally. Keep that inner concentration firm and unwavering, not unsteady or unstable. The text uses this image. Keep the vision as clear as a mirror. It quotes the Dhammam, the Dhamma, saying it apasatalam via, is so bright like the surface of a mirror.
Wow, that's a high standard for focus. It sounds like this commitment to respect is vital, not just personally, but for the whole community.
Critically important. Actually, there's a pretty dramatic story from the Buddha's lifetime that underlines this. Apparently, a group of 500 women tried to disrupt one of the Buddha's sermons. They hid little bottles of liquor, got drunk, and started causing a disturbance.
Seriously, during a sermon by the Buddha.
That's the story. And the Buddha's response was, well, miraculous. He caused this profound darkness to fall over everyone. It terrified the crowd, instantly sobered up the women. Then he brought back the light and delivered a sermon that actually led those same women to attain spiritual understanding.
That's incredible. But obviously, we don't have Buddhas performing miracles like that today. So how does that principle of maintaining a respectful assembly apply now?
Good question. The source acknowledges miracles aren't the norm now, but the principle holds. Fostering respect in any gathering, a formal teaching, a community meeting, whatever is essential. It's about everyone cultivating that mindfulness to prevent the teachings, the community, from degeneration and ruin, as the text puts it. It's a shared responsibility.
Makes sense. So respect for the practice, for the assembly, and then there's vudapakaino, specifically respecting elders and seniors.
Yes. And the text notes this is something liked and admired throughout the world. It's seen as a sign of being intelligent, smart, and obedient. Universal value, really. It contrasts this with being obstinate, dubako, which the Buddha apparently rejected. He preferred suvako, obedient or receptive disciples.
Okay, so respect for elders. Does the text define elder?
It does. It actually breaks down seniority into 3 types, which is quite interesting. Vayavudi, Jativudi, and Gunavudi.
Okay, Vayavudi. That sounds like age.
Exactly. Vayavudi is respect for advanced age, people who are, say, 80 to 100 years old, or monks who've been ordained for more than 3 years. The idea is they always deserve forgiveness from the young.
Okay, age seniority. What's Jativudi?
Jativudi is about origin of birth. Respect based on being born into high-status families, royalty, wealthy, powerful, compared to those in jobs seen as lower status, like florists or rubbish collectors in that era's context. The text says respect should be shown in order of seniority from the lower to the higher, reflecting the social structures of the time.
Okay, reflecting the times. And the third one, Gunavudi.
Gunavudi. This one is about virtue. Respect paid to those with firm virtue, regardless of their age or social standing, even if they're very young.
Now that's compelling.
Yeah.
Virtue trumps age and birth.
It seems so. And there's another amazing story to illustrate this. It involves a 7-year-old novice, just 7 years old, who had already attained arhatship, full spiritual liberation.
Wow, at 7.
Incredible, right? So another monk, not knowing this, just kind of innocently pats or strokes the novice's head. A friendly gesture, maybe.
Okay.
But the Buddha saw this and immediately recognized the novice's attainment. He basically told the monk, using some pretty strong comparisons, that he had messed up big time. Like saying he'd stroked an arhat's head by mistake and I deserved to die, or like he'd stroked a cobra's fangs or an elephant's tusk.
Yikes. Highlighting the immense spiritual power he'd casually touched. So how did the Buddha convince the monk?
He set up a test. He asked for water from a legendary distant lake, Anumodanā Lake, a task thought impossible for an ordinary person. But the 7-year-old arhat novice, he just flew there using his spiritual powers, brought the water back instantly.
Then there. Okay, that would be convincing.
Absolutely. It completely astonished the other monk. It's a powerful lesson that true virtue, gunavudi, can exist in anyone, regardless of age or background, and it deserves the highest respect. It really makes you reconsider where real authority lies, doesn't it?
It really does. Wow, what a journey this deep dive has been. We've gone through the Gathā blessing, that beautiful water analogy showing the flow of merit from giving.
And the Sabi chant, with its wishes for daily protection and well-being.
Leading to those 4 incredible benefits. Longevity, ayu. That unique idea of lasting inner beauty, vana, deep comfort even in dreams, sukha, and that combination strength and vital confidence, pala.
And we found the key to unlocking all of this, according to these texts, is that profound practice of respect. Agivadanas and Buddhapakaino. Respect for the Dhamma, for the traditions, for the community gatherings, and respect for seniority, whether that's based on age, birth, or, perhaps most importantly, virtue, kunavudi.
It all comes back to respect. And the source leaves us with this quite serious reminder, doesn't it? That after the Buddha, the responsibility fell to his followers, and by extension, to all practitioners today to uphold these traditions, to care for the community, to make sure Buddhism doesn't degenerate and come to ruin.
It's a heavy responsibility, but also an empowering one.
So here's something to think about as we wrap up. Considering this responsibility, What is your role? Your role in preserving and, maybe more importantly, embodying these wisdom traditions, the ones that promise such tangible benefits, not just for you, but for everyone. How do you practice Abhivadana, that deep respect in your own daily life? And maybe reflect on how doing so, or perhaps not doing so, affects your own well-being and the well-being of the people around you.